Hello and welcome to the Temple of Tomes with your host, Indie Comics Jones. Today is February 3rd, 2021, and this is episode 192. Today we're taking a look at Mann's World. This is an Upshot Comics. This is the number one on this, and just to give you a quick rundown, it's kind of like this fantasy world. Think of Westworld, where people can go to a place and have different types of experiences. It's supposed to be a kind of amusement park, but it actually takes up a whole planet that has been discovered. Now, the main story has to do with four guys, and we've got Duncan, who's this big fellow here, Larry Rose, who owns a chain of burger joints, Vince, who's just gone through a divorce, and Max Rodriguez, who we don't know a lot about, who doesn't really get too much of a backstory here. But actually, we show the main ship getting flown out to what they call Mann's World. It's this planet that they had tried to grow things on and were unsuccessful. They tried mining, but there wasn't anything worth mining there. So they turned it into a resort. And I guess there's all kinds of activities. They really haven't gone into it too much, but there are no guns allowed on this planet. That's the one rule that we know of so far. It's very high tech. So it shows them coming in, unloading. They want right off the bat, they want to take what they call these barges out and hunt the wild game that's there. And they'd be hunting them with harpoons since guns are not allowed. So they're taken to a hangar and they're shown all these things. They're also told they can't go out yet because the tracking satellite is currently down, and there's no way to make sure that the guests are safe if they go out there. So the main guy here, well, he's not the main guy. I think Vince is the main guy, but Duncan is some kind of wrestler or mixed martial arts wrestler, famous guy, but he's also kind of the headstrong type, kind of wants to boss people around a little bit, boss his friends around, wants to take them out, wants them to get going. They're like, come on, we just got here, let's relax. He's kind of ticked off that they can't go out hunting right away. So he's feeling a little flustered about that. And then let's go into like who worked on this. We've got Victor Gischler, who's the writer. Nico Walter is the artist, and both have worked on other mainstream comics before. I can't really think of what it was off the top of my head. And the colorist is Snakebite Cortez. Okay, and you get a nice shot of Mann's World here, and you can see the S's in blood, so I'm assuming that is something that is going to appear in the future issue. This is a recommend, by the way. I think they did a nice job on this. There was one glaring typo, I guess they missed right off the bat on this one caption here, and let me see if I can read it for you. See if this makes sense to you. It didn't to me. My divorce was only a month old. Duncan's excuse to drag us hell and gone out to the spiral arm. So I'm not sure what that was supposed to mean, but having that on the very first page, I think that was a major gaffe. That said, that was pretty much the only thing I saw that was terribly wrong with this. The story was kind of interesting. I wish they would have gotten it a lot further along in the story. So it turns out they go through their orientation. They've landed on this planet. And it's this kind of hedonistic, do whatever you like. You can see you can hang glide with the giant condors. You can hunt these strange beasts. Just all kinds of different activities going on here. You could kayak this continent-long river if you wish, when they had all different types of levels of kayaking there, so you didn't have to be in advanced for it. So it's all looking pretty good. Duncan is just kind of bored off the bat, though. These guys want to settle down and get a drink. He's going, no, let's explore. He sees these two guards standing in front of a door, and they said, what are you doing? He says, well, this goes behind the scenes. So he goes, well, we can go wherever we want, right? There's no restrictions. And they said, yeah, I guess, if you want to. So he goes to the door, and they go to this kind of, I guess it was the original town that they used from perhaps mining and other activities, and now it's a support town for the resort itself. They find a saloon there, and they go on in, and they make small chat with the bartenders, who doesn't seem too happy to see these guys. He's like, "What are you guys doing here? This is for us. This is not for the resort people." And they get into a little scuffle with one of the patrons named Jake there. And somehow Jake has something to do with the whole hunting operation as well. So there's no fight that breaks out because he's not supposed to get in trouble. But he tells one of the guys to go see what barge they're on, because they get a report that the satellite's back up and they can go now hunting. Just report to the launch site there. So Jake is the mean guy here, and he's saying, find out what barge you're on. He got punched by Duncan, so he's a little ticked off. So I see this guy, and I looked back. I didn't see him at all in the cartoon, but this guy seems, or the comic earlier on, but this guy, Vince seems to have recognized him, and I couldn't figure out where he'd recognized him before. But apparently he somehow sabotaged the barge, what they call these spaceships, the barge. So they go off hunting. They're able to get one of these crazy looking, they're like rhino dinosaur type things. I'm shooting harpoons from this perch below the craft. So they get one, and I guess they go to recover it. They're told that the satellite's down again and return back to base. And they say, "No, let's stay out and get one more. We've already got Larry Rose in the seat to shoot the next one." But it turns out the guys from the village that they had hassled a little bit, had a little bit of confrontation with, sees their ship and is able to set off some kind of explosion, bringing the ship perhaps to a crashing halt. We don't know, because this is where it ends. So we didn't get that far into it, unfortunately. You can see the ship right there kind of going down in a blaze of glory, with some of these villagers standing by, threatening, and it's to be continued. And the next issue shows Vince. It looks like Vince is beating some guy up. So this will be coming out in February. This is a recommend. Like I said, I wish the story would have got a little bit further along than it did, but it was done well, and the story is interesting enough. Very macho styled story. So we get a quick interviews with the artist and the writer. And here's some other upshot comics coming out. Casual Fling, this will come out. Sex is Never Safe. Boy, you can say that again. Erratic, a 5-issue series. Looks like some superhero, a 15-year-old, 10 minutes to save the world. So this will be the second issue coming out on this. Bite-sized, a 4-issue series. This came out in January. I might mention that this book came out a couple weeks ago. I'm just getting over to it right now. This is Cullen Bunn wrote on this one. So looks like it's about robots or something like that in the future. And Redemption, a 5-issue series, and that's going on sale. It should have went on sale today. Unfortunately, my shop was closed because they had a COVID episode, so they had to close for deep cleaning. So hopefully we'll be back in there next week. I'll be picking up some of these comics maybe. And that's what we got. Mann's World, recommend. It's well done. It's just a little on the short side, I would say. I wish it would have gone a little bit further. It is a $3.99 comic, and this is the first issue of 5. So thank you for stopping by and listening to this review. As always, this is Indie Comics Jones from the Temple of Tomes. Please like, please subscribe, please leave comments, and we'll see you next time. As always, I bid you adieu.